Hello, beautiful moon gods and goddesses. I'm Amy with Aspire Zen, and tonight is May 7th of 2020, and it is the third and final supermoon of the year. And I thought it would be really fun to get together and do a little full moon ritual. And you can celebrate the full moon about 3 days before and 3 days after the actual full moon happens. So if you're catching this a little early or a little late, or on another full moon, you can do this even if it isn't a super moon. But I think because it's a super moon, it has extra impact and is a little bit extra powerful. So I figured tonight was the perfect night to get together and talk about the super moon and do a little meditation and a little writing exercise to clear and release the things that do not serve you. This is the perfect time to do it, and move on, make space for all the good things that you want to bring into your life. So let's start with, you'll want to have a comfortable seat, maybe a cushion to sit on. I'm scooched up on a cushion, and a piece of paper and some kind of writing utensil, pen or pencil. And if it is possible, make the seated space, this comfy spot, somewhere there where you can see the moon. So even if it's just in the windowsill, if there's some way that you can actually visually seek out those moonbeams coming at you, all the better. If not, no biggie. It's fine. The moon is very powerful. It's here. It's going to illuminate you even if you are inside of your apartment. But if you have the ability to sit outside or sit just somewhere where you can actually see the moon, all the better, just to connect a little bit closer. So first of all, let's talk about what a supermoon is real quick. It's a full moon, but it's also when the moon is closest to the earth. So as the moon is revolving around the earth, sometimes it's closer and sometimes it's further away. And the supermoon is when the moon is at its closest orbit to earth and also full. So the effect for us is that we see these really big fat moons. It looks bigger than normal, especially when it's rising and setting. And the other thing we see at any full or new moon is a pretty extreme effect on the tides. There'll be higher highs and lower lows, and in a supermoon, those are more pronounced as well. Similar to the tides, because we too are beings on this planet, and we are made of about 70% water. We can tend to be affected a little bit by full moons, super and regular, and that's where we get the sayings of people going crazy under the full moon. Sometimes you'll have extended energy or more restless energy, or maybe you can't sleep. I know I've been burning the midnight oil the last few days myself, feeling affected by it. The other great thing about full moon time, we can take advantage of this energy and harness it. It's an excellent time to reflect upon ourselves. What are the maybe intentions that we set earlier in the month, what's working, what isn't working. And like the moon shines light on the path when it's full, it also has a tendency to light up the dark side of us. So any bad behaviors might come to mind, or bad feelings. Stuff might start to bubble to the surface at this time, and you're wondering why you're feeling so ornery or frustrated or angry, upset, sad, whatever. Stuff's coming up. It tends to come up more frequently on a full moon. So that's totally normal. Those off feelings, recognize that it's a great time to sit and identify what's coming up for you that maybe doesn't serve you anymore, maybe is getting in the way of you achieving your goals and your dreams, whatever they may be. And it's a great opportunity to work through that energy, release it, and then make space to grow into the you that you want to become. And this particular moon, this super moon in May, is in the astrological sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio represents, the physical representation of Scorpio is the pelvis and the sex organs. It's the second chakra, the sacral chakra. And so it represents sex organs and money. And a great thing to do during this time is make sure that you're doing lots of stretches and yogic moves to open your hips, release any energy. We tend to store a lot of tension, stress, sadness, things like that in our hips anyway. So this is an even more pronounced time to be aware of that and take advantage of this time and release it. One other thing that is represented by Scorpio is it literally represents death and rebirth. It even has the symbol of the phoenix associated with it. So when we look at the things that do not serve us, places that we want to go, our intentions, where we want to become in life, this is an excellent, perfect opportunity to let die what doesn't work anymore and set your intention toward what you really do want to accomplish in life. So that's the exercise we're going to do. So I'm going to start by warming up those hips and sitting in a position that is going to be best for channeling that scorpionic energy, as well as the fact that you're sitting near the moonlight. So we're going to hit both together and come in. So start to think, first of all, actually let's start with position. So start with the bottoms of your feet are going to come together. And so that will bring your knees out wide. And if it's uncomfortable for you to sit like this, it's great to put maybe a pillow or a yoga block, blanket. You can shove something to give you support here. But you do want to have the sensation of opening up that inner groin area, because that's giving access to open your hips and the pelvis. And then take your hands and place them down here in that lower pelvis. And then just let's start to breathe for a minute, sitting up straight into the pelvis area. So oftentimes our breath is up here in the chest and maybe into the belly. I want you to go lower. So really breathing deep and low. And feel it expand on the inhale, and then exhale, press it down. Let's try that a few more times, inhaling, focusing the expansion of the breath down into the deep into the pelvis, and exhale, let it go. Good. Now maintaining that breath, you can take your hands into Gyan Mudra. Index finger meets thumb, makes a little circle, both hands, and then you can place them upward on your knees. And continue to be breathing nice, slow, deep counts into that pelvic breath. And then also start to think of an intention. Where do you want to go in life? What are you trying to accomplish in the next month, in the next year? What is your ideal, beautiful situation of becoming the person you want to become? And just gently breathe into that pelvic breath. Slow on the inhale. Holding at the top. And then exhaling out. Focusing in on that intention. Where do you want to go? What is your goal in life? Maybe it's a short-term goal, maybe it's a long-term goal. Focus in, hone in on that goal. And now start to envision the moon that is beaming down on you. Start to feel it illuminating you, all those beautiful, bright moonbeams coming down, washing over your body, completely covering every inch of you, bathing in that moonlight, illuminating those dreams and desires, those goals, shining a bright light on them, showing and starting to show you what your life will look like if you achieve these goals. What does your life look like? What are you doing now that you've achieved these things? You've become this new person. Letting the moonlight wash all over you. Bathing you in that beautiful person that you want to become. And slowly start to bring your awareness back into the room. Feel yourself grounded on your yoga mat, in your comfy chair. You can flutter your eyes open. Undo Gyan Mudra with your fingers. And then take your hands to the outside of your knees and close them together like a book. Unless you're feeling very comfortable, then you can just stay in that position. I'm going to move it to easy pose. Still open the hips. Sitting up straight. And now take your piece of paper and your pen and think about, write down that intention that you put down there. Write that down first. And then below that, write, these are the things that no longer serve me. Make a list, maybe 3 or 4 things, feelings, behaviors, anything that has been coming up for you over the last few days, maybe last few weeks, maybe years. Maybe it's been something you're hyper aware of. Maybe it's more subtle. Just something that, whatever, don't think too hard about it, whatever comes up for you. Write that down. And when you have your list, be in your comfortable spot under the moonlight, under the protection and the blanket of the beautiful moon. And read each line item of your does not serve me any longer, what I want to release. Read it with intention. So one of mine was, I want to get rid of the fear of being vulnerable to others. So I say, my fear of being vulnerable to others. And then I say, I release you. So that's all you have to do. Say each one with complete integrity, and then give it off to the universe. Give it back. Let the moon beams wash it away. And clearing up that space. And you can repeat this over and over. Again, like I said at the beginning, the full moon energy tends to last 3 days before and 3 days after the actual culmination of the full moon. So you have some time to do this. And whatever comes up for you over the next few days, this is a great way to handle some of that energy that might be feeling stuck or unsavory. And you can move on and make space to become the true beautiful you that you've always wanted to become. So I'm Amy with Aspire Zen. If you would like more of this, please give me a like and a follow on Instagram and also Facebook at Aspire Zen. And I look forward to spending more moonlit nights with you again soon. Namaste.